The no-name price freeze at Loblaws is no more.
That shoppers could be in store for as the price freeze on no-name branded groceries also ends.
At this French bakery in Vancouver, butter is an obvious staple. But they noticed something changed.
What if the most dangerous thing in your kitchen was something you eat every single morning? You wake up, you make breakfast, toast, butter, harmless, right? But what if I told you that one simple habit, something millions of Canadians do every day, could be quietly affecting your health over time? What if the butter sitting in your fridge right now isn't what you think it is? Some of the most popular butter brands sold in Canada contain ingredients and production practices most consumers never expect, including compounds also used in industrial processing, cosmetics, and chemical manufacturing. Ingredients that rarely get explained. Processes you're never told about. And before you scroll away, vegans, don't go anywhere. We didn't forget about you. There's a plant-based product in this list that might shock you even more than the dairy ones. Canada is known for its rich dairy tradition, from morning coffee runs to backyard barbecues to holiday bacon. But recently, something has changed. Consumers noticed it, scientists questioned it, and butter found itself at the center of a national controversy. So we decided to investigate. We analyzed ingredient labels. We examined peer-reviewed nutrition research. We reviewed Canadian recall data most people never look at. What we uncovered explains the growing disappointment Canadians feel toward butter, and once you see it, you may never shop the same way again. These are 6 butter products Canadians should think twice about bringing home. Let's expose what most labels don't tell you, starting with number 1, Lactantia. Lactantia is one of the most recognizable butter brands in Canada. It's trusted by families, stocked in nearly every grocery store, often described as a national butter. According to Canadian consumer surveys, it's repeatedly ranked among the most trusted butter brands in the country. But in early 2021, something strange happened. Canadians noticed their butter no longer softened at room temperature. It stayed hard. It crumbled instead of spreading. It tore toast instead of melting into it. The phenomenon became so widespread, it earned a name, Buttergate. Thousands of consumers reported the same issue across provinces. Researchers and dairy experts eventually traced the change to palmitic acid levels, a saturated fatty acid naturally found in butter, but one that can increase depending on what dairy cows are fed. In simple terms, some dairy cows were being fed palm oil-based supplements to boost milk fat production. This wasn't an accident, it was an efficiency decision. Palmitic acid is the most common saturated fat in animal products. Multiple large-scale nutritional studies associate high intake of saturated fats with increased LDL cholesterol, a known risk factor for cardiovascular disease when compared to diets higher in unsaturated fats. Health authorities, including the World Health Organization and Health Canada, recommend limiting saturated fat intake as part of long-term health risk reduction. Beyond human health, palm oil production has been linked to deforestation and habitat destruction, raising environmental concerns worldwide. While palmitic acid is not banned, public pressure in Canada became so intense that dairy groups advised farmers to reduce palm oil-based feed, acknowledging consumer concerns even without a formal prohibition. But here's what many people don't realize. Palmitic acid isn't just a dietary fat. It's also widely used in cosmetics, soaps, detergents, and industrial lubricants, highlighting how chemically versatile and industrially common it is. Legal? Yes. Transparent? Not exactly. If this raises questions about feed practices and sourcing, the next butter raises questions about consistency and trust. No-name butter, Loblaws. No-name butter is one of the cheapest and most widely consumed butters in Canada, and that's exactly why it deserves a closer look. The familiar yellow package promises one thing, affordability. As a private label product sold under Loblaw banners nationwide, it's designed to deliver the lowest possible price while appearing uniform across thousands of stores. For many households, price alone decides. But when a product is this inexpensive, a question rarely gets asked: what compromise makes that price possible? With no-name butter, the answer is consistency and quality. One week, the butter is deep yellow. The next week, it's pale, almost white. Same brand, same label, completely different product. This isn't an accident. No-name butter relies on large-scale industrial dairy sourcing from provincial milk pools. Different provinces receive butter from different processing plants. Feed changes seasonally. Fat composition shifts, so the butter changes too. In Ontario, it may appear nearly white. In Quebec, noticeably more yellow. But one thing stays remarkably consistent: the lack of flavor, no richness, no depth, no character. It melts, but it doesn't enhance. It coats food, but it contributes nothing. Unlike premium or farmer-focused butters, this product is engineered for efficiency, not individuality. Uniformity, yield, shelf stability, everything is optimized for cost. Moisture limits are tightly controlled. Churning is accelerated. Sourcing is optimized for volume rather than care. These practices keep prices low, but they also strip away transparency. You never truly know what version of butter you're eating week to week, and that matters. Because when affordability becomes the top priority, nutritional and sensory quality becomes secondary. Over time, altered standards begin to feel normal, simply because they're cheaper. Food shouldn't feel like a gamble, but with this butter, it often is. And the next one carries even more hidden risk. Gay Lea salted butter. Gay Lea markets itself as a Canadian farmer-owned cooperative. The branding suggests tradition, trust, Canadian values, and for many households, that image alone implies wholesomeness. But one aspect of this butter deserves closer scrutiny: sodium content. Sodium chloride, salt, is added to butter for more than taste. In industrial food production, salt controls moisture activity, slows microbial growth, extends shelf life. That means sodium becomes part of a product used liberally, spread on toast, melted into sauces, baked into pastries. Sodium itself isn't evil, but excess intake is one of the most consistently documented dietary risk factors for high blood pressure. Over time, elevated blood pressure strains blood vessels, the heart, and kidneys, increasing the risk of heart disease and stroke. The World Health Organization classifies sodium reduction as a global public health priority, noting that even modest reductions can significantly improve population health. While sodium chloride is not banned, many countries treat high sodium foods far more cautiously than Canada. Chile and Mexico, for example, require front-of-package warning labels for foods high in sodium. Canada relied primarily on voluntary labeling until new regulations were scheduled to take effect in the mid-2020s. In production, salted butter differs significantly from unsalted butter. Precise salting ratios are used to control texture. Churning is optimized for consistency. Packaging is designed for extended shelf stability. Efficient? Yes. Accidental? No. The concern isn't that Gay Lea butter is dangerous. It's that repeated, unexamined consumption adds up, especially when combined with other processed foods. And if sodium worries you, the next butter should make you pause immediately. Baxter and Saputo. Salted butter. In 2024, Baxter and Saputo salted butter products were recalled in Canada. The reason: metal fragments. The contamination was traced not to the butter itself, but to a shared ingredient supplier, Sifto high-grade salt. This highlights a major vulnerability in modern food systems. When one upstream supplier experiences contamination, the risk can cascade across multiple brands before detection. Canada's recall system is largely reactive. Products are pulled after a risk is identified. According to Health Canada and the WHO, foreign objects like metal fragments are classified as serious physical hazards. They can cause mouth injuries, choking, or internal damage, especially in children and older adults. The unsettling truth? These products were already in homes before the recall, which means risk often precedes warnings. And if a trusted brand can be affected by an upstream failure, so can many others. Now we move to a butter Canadians complain about quietly, without fully understanding why. Compliments, Butter Sobeys. Compliments is Sobeys' in-house brand, positioned as dependable, affordable, a safe middle ground, not cheap, not premium. But that assumption may be costing you. Compliments butter is contract manufactured by third-party processors. Sourcing can change, production standards can vary, and consumers are rarely informed. The butter fat content meets only the minimum legal standard. That means more water, and water is the enemy of good butter. In baking, the difference is obvious. Cakes don't rise properly, buttercream separates, textures feel unstable. These aren't random failures. They're the direct result of moisture replacing fat. Flavor suffers too. Quality butter made from rich cream has depth. Compliments butter tastes flat. Side by side with a European butter, the difference is unmistakable. Sobeys' parent company, Empire Company Limited, earns billions annually. They could improve quality. They choose not to. Every percentage point of water replacing fat increases profit and decreases performance. Health Canada regulates final product, not transparency around who made it, which means every time you buy it, you're trusting unknown standards. And finally, the one vegans waited for. Yum Cashew. Butter Yum is a Canadian plant-based brand known for artisanal nut butters. Clean branding, small batch image, health-focused messaging. But in 2025, the Canadian Food Inspection Agency issued a recall for Yum cashew butter due to possible salmonella contamination. Salmonella is a foodborne pathogen that can cause fever, abdominal cramps, nausea, and diarrhea. In vulnerable populations, children, seniors, immunocompromised individuals, complications can be severe. Plant-based does not automatically mean safer. Nut butters are considered high-risk foods if sanitation or temperature controls fail. Bacteria can enter during mixing, bottling, or storage, and survive if controls aren't rigorous. This recall proves something important. Even clean label brands can have safety gaps. None of these products are illegal. None are banned. But regulation does not equal transparency. The real question isn't, is this allowed? It's, why are Canadians expected not to question it? So what does this mean for you? Check your fridge, read the label, ask where your food comes from. Look for producers who are transparent about sourcing and practices. Which butter surprised you the most? Leave a comment below. We read everyone. If this video made you rethink your groceries, like it, share it, and subscribe, because this is just the beginning. Your kitchen deserves the truth.